Welcome to episode 27 of this Let's Play series. We're playing Dwarf Fortress. My name is DasTactic. Welcome to the channel. It's been a fairly wild ride in the last few episodes, and we're a long way behind in actual development. There's a lot of other workshops and methods and things like that we have to sort of get through. So I'll be trying to focus on that today, today, I guess, for the release of these. I'm recording many of these back to back. So anyway, this is the start of my today session. But we're going to be we're going to be basically building a lot of the stuff that's now important. I'm noticing that a lot of the dwarves are now getting old clothing, and we have to get that one fixed. There's a whole lot of stuff we have to do in here. So we'll do clothing. We also have to go back outside and pick up the axe, which was there's the person that was killed by the thief, or the would-be thief. But the axe Mingle Vostaz is the axe we need to be going picking up. Somebody is going out to do that one. I think it may be the bookkeeper. So I won't follow her up. I might open this part of the fortress as well, just so that we end up having these gates open as well. There's so much to do at the moment. It's really sort of quite worrying as to what to actually get through and do. Our food situation is getting better because we're now outside. You can see there's a step ladder out through here. They're picking up the various bits and pieces. Also, as a bit of a recap, we do actually have, when we had all those different fights and things that were going on in the fortress, you can see it all down through here. I'll just zoom in a little bit. What was happening in through here was with the humans, and then the killing of dwarves, all sorts of different things going on. I've had a look at the legends to see if there was any sort of group that they were affiliated with or anything like that that was going to cause any particular issues. It seems okay, so I don't think that that's actually a concern. We've just got an awful lot to get through. I think what's actually happened with these is that they just got into the tavern, got drunk, had a brawl, it got out of hand. Now that's happened a lot, unfortunately. So I will have to keep my military on a bit of a wary eye. A few things I can do about that. I can bring the area that they go to higher up into the fortress, and I think I might do that. I think I might actually make the inn somewhere else, not up here, but somewhere else in the fortress, probably in the early sort of layers, just so that we end up having like an inn for visitors, keep them away from the dwarves, just because we've only got 18 dwarves left. It's not good. We've got a few that are actually really unhappy as well. So there's a lot to get through in this episode, and a lot to look at as well. Like essentially, we're building the atom smasher. We're building all sorts of different things like this. So anyway, we'll just go through. There's a lot of storage stuff that they have to then go and do. So there's a lot for them to get through. Storing items in locations, store items in bins. And this is where I think that this one is going out to pick up equipment, which I think is that axe. There's a few dump item things in here as well, so we've got a few of those. Now, I'll just let them do what they're going to do for now. I don't know exactly where they are. I wish we could see exactly what they actually were. We've still got a few of these levers and so on and so forth to do. We've got to construct all the different cage traps as we sort of go through this side, construct different buildings. I just don't have enough people. If we have a look at our guys, I might go and change the woodcutter so that they can do multiple jobs. I might make the farmer now also do multiple jobs, and just leave one of the miners because we now have other jobs to do as well. So where to start? I'll have to think about that. Okay, let's talk about the sheriff, I think, because we sort of started on that one in the last session, but we didn't actually do anything with it. Now, you'll see there that the sheriff has got specific requirements, more so than the expedition leader. Now, when we get a bigger number, we're going to end up with a mayor, and the mayor will actually then have other things that they will want as well. Now, what the sheriff wants is that they want a modest study, a modest quarters, and a modest dining room. They're the three different rooms that they require. They don't require a tomb. And then they've got actual things in through here. They require one chest, one cabinet, one weapon rack, and one armor stand. So they're the actual requirements. Let's just get those at least started, and then we'll come back. So I've got my expedition leader through here. We now have 3 different rooms that are required for the sheriff. So we're just going to go back and just create some more 3x3s. And I'll just string them all together again as well. And so this will be for the sheriff. Now, I'm just going to leave that there for now, but we'll come back and then deal with that one hopefully in this episode. The other thing we need to do is to get our cloth sorted. Now, if we have a look at our back outside, which I think is F4, yeah, F4 is back out here with the various things we actually have out through this side. We've got a lot of rabbits. And did we get anything else? Have we got any other things in the pens that we can sort of add into here? I'm not sure if we do. Stray dogs, no, nothing much. So there's a few things that I thought we may have had some sheep or something, but we'll sort of see what we do. We're in late summer now, so we should actually, I think we ordered some rams, which I think I did the wrong thing. There was a comment that I actually chose the wrong thing. I think I still needed them. I wanted to get rams, ewes, and pigs, essentially, is what I wanted to sort of get ready for having other industries that we can then sort of make use of. So nothing much there that we can do just yet. But there's a few things in the clothing industry that we can do. Like we are growing pigtails. Like if we have a look at the actual at pigtails, I'll just do it in through here. We've got pigtail shirts, not pigtails themselves. There's armor bags. There's we don't have a cloth, the plants. We've got 36 pigtails that in through here, or 10 that's sort of showing up through this side. So we can make them into cloth, and so we'll start the process of making the pigtails into cloth and then sort of replanting them as well. At the moment we've got thread. We don't have much thread in through there. Anyway, we'll just keep on sort of going through and building an industry. I think I'll keep pigtails as our main source. I do want to keep some thread though for the hospital. The hospital should actually have a fair bit. So maybe we'll have a bit of a look at that as well. If we just press F2 and just sort of see what the hospital's actually got. If we just go back into the actual hospital zone as an example, click on it and just have a quick look and see what they've actually got reserved. Yeah, they've got 5 thread, 5 cloth, 5 splints. They've got 3 splints, 2 crutches. So we're going to need to get more of those. Powder, we don't have anything, unfortunately. We're going to need more. We've got 2 buckets and no soap. So there's a whole lot of different things we have to get sorted here. A whole lot of different things. So anyway, let's not, I won't dilly-dally. I'll just go straight down and get into it. So the cloth, the clothing. So we'll get that one started. So when we go across into our workshops, the clothing and leather looks fairly simple because you've only got like a leather worker, so can actually then make leather clothing. You've got a loom, which will then can turn thread into cloth. So we need to have thread first before we actually go into the loom itself. We've got clothing back in through here and then a dyer. Now, I'm not going to worry about the dyer because that's sort of like more advanced level. It's sort of like to make the clothes coloured, and we don't really care about that one. But the clothing, quite often you'll need 2 or more clothing shops ultimately, just to sort of go through all the different types of clothing that are required. There's a lot that is required. The loom itself is also important, but also to get to the loom, and I think I've got it in my kitchen, which I think is up above. We've got ourselves a farmer's market up through here, or the farmer's workshop. And so we can add new tasks, and you can see there, make sheet from plant, milk an animal, make cheese, process plant to bag, process plants, which is sort of what we actually need to do. We need to process the pigtails. Now, usually what I would then do is it would be to keep this one working with the milking and so on and so forth, and have another one come up for the shearing and the spinning as a separate one. But let's just keep it where it is at this point in time. So at this point in time, we do need to have, now there's no animals, I don't think there's any animals we can shear. If I just do that one, I don't think we'll see it. Well, actually, we've got yak hair down there, but I don't think we can shear them. I think that's just doing what they can do. Now, they should just automatically spin anyway, spin the thread. So I don't think I need to really sort of worry too much about doing that one. I think that'll just happen automatically when it's available, because there's nothing else for yak hair or anything else to sort of to do. Let everything else develop. God, there's so much that we have to do here. Yeah, look, what I think I'll do is let's just do it bit by bit. Let's just start the farmer's workshop and just work our way through what the farmer's workshop actually does, the different sorts of things that we can do there. Now, I did shear animal. We don't have any animals that can be shorn. That's basically just sort of like sheep, which hopefully we'll get soon. Llamas, which we don't have any of. If there is hair, they will actually make thread out of it. sort of automatically. So let's just get rid of that. We're not going to have any. We don't have anything upstairs. I'm pretty sure we don't. So we'll look at our pets and livestock. We didn't bring any llamas, did we? No, we didn't bring any llamas. So that's. I know we don't have any sheep as well, so we've got the stray water buffer. There's nothing to shear. We can't shear cats, so we'll go back into it. So that's not going to happen. Now, the next thing we have, let's just go to work orders and then define a work order from here. Now, making cheese, we certainly can milk the horses, and so we'll actually do that one. And we can then sort of set up more intricate ways of then doing different bits and pieces, and we can then make cheese from the milk if we needed to, if we wanted to as well. But now, sheet from plant, this is actually to make like paper, and we don't have the plants to do that, so that's not really something we have to really worry about. Process plants to bags. This is if we've got quarry bushes, we can sort of then essentially split them all out into the rock nuts and the leaves. I don't know if we've got any actually. We might have a look at that as well. Process plants is the critical one that we need for the clothing. So I'm just going to go into that one. What this will then do is they will then go to the pigtails and make thread from the pigtails themselves, and then they'll use the seeds and then replant them. This is actually going to be the staple of what we do. Now it's got process plants 10 out of 10. If we then just go across into here, it says amount of unrotten processable plants is available as greater than 10. I'm going to change this one to make it a small number at the moment, but I will just add that one through there. Now it's it has to be the plants of the pigtails. This is really all that it actually is at this point in time. So just going to make it say 3 is greater than say 3. That will then do, and then we'll just process 3 at a time. And so when we have a look down through here, process plants at the farmer's workshop, and I'll just make it 3. So if it's greater than 3, just process 3. And that way we can just keep it sort of rolling on until we get like a big stock of pigtails. We can then sort of deal with them. Now we've got a handful of them, so that will sort of at least get us started, and then we can make the pigtail thread, and that will then get the thread done. Let's go back to the farmer's workshop again, go to work orders. The next one for us to have a look at, we can actually process plants into a barrel as well. So do we have any sweet pods? I'm not sure. So let's have a look and see. If we go to some of these, that just don't worry about, because we're not going to have the actual plants available to us unless we sort of find them somewhere, and I'm not going to be looking for them as such. So, but the other one with sweet pods, if we go back up to our stocks and then just go down to plants in through here, plants, and we've got barley, rye, plump helmets. We have a look and see what we've got. Do we have some pigtails, so that at least we'll be able to make thread out of those. We've got some sweet pods. We are picking them up a little bit from outside. And we've got a fair few quarry bushes as well, actually. This is good stuff. So we can actually use both the sweet pods and the quarry bushes from here. And so what we'll do is we'll just go back in again and just go to work orders, add a task. And so in this case, processing the plants to bags, this is going to be the quarry bushes. And we're just going to go and again, just go and allocate the amount of items is less than 10, seeds is less than 10. Unrotten bag processable plants is greater than, this is pretty really what I want. So again, I'm just going to go, if that's greater than say 3. At the moment, we've got, actually, I should make it greater than 1. No, I'll make it 3 until we sort of get going with it. And just go back again and just go back down and make that one 3 as well. So that's going to be the quarry bushes. We then go back in and work orders, add a new work order. And then we have the process the plants in a barrel. So this is sort of like process the plants to a bag. This is going to be to a barrel. So we're going to be processing plants to barrels, which is sweet pods. And so we then just go across, add another one through here. Unrotten processable two barrel plants is going to be greater than say 3. So again, just greater than 3. And so, and you can see it's not satisfied for the next check. So we're not able to do this one, but we'll just make, say, 3 of them available. So if we do have sweet pods, we can then actually use those to at least start to make some syrup. And so that will then create syrup in the barrel. So eventually that'll sort of happen. Now, the next thing we want to be having a look at, basically back in the same workshop, there's so much to do here. I wish that it was better to actually filter by the different workshops when you go to the work orders area. I mean, you can sort of do it through here, which helps. This one here is, so we've got process plants plants to a barrel. Now this one here, I forget which plant it actually is, but this is like a special high value plant, which I think maybe even be outside. It's not something we need to worry about. We certainly don't have that particular one. Shearing animals and spinning threads, we don't have the ability to do that just yet. So there's no hair, I don't think. What we can do is, again, just go to stocks. And so if we go to hair, there's a hair amulet and a rat hair amulet. We've got thread. There's the yak hair thread, but we don't actually have any just yak hair itself. So there's just amulets and things. So that's not going to do us any good. Let's not worry about that one. Just go to work orders, add. So we've done all of those. Milk an animal. Now I will actually milk an animal, and I will make cheese as well if I can. So we'll milk an animal. Now we're just going to do it once. So we'll just change the number to 1, because I've only got one that I think I've only got one that can be milked. And we're going to change the one-time order. We're not going to, like, this isn't a one-time order, but just basically if the amount of, now I haven't looked at this before, milk, milkable, no. Amount of horses, no, it's not going to do it. Okay, forget that. We won't worry about that one. So milk an animal. Now I really did want to have that one just continuing on. Let's have a bit of a look and see what it did sort of do. The amount of items is at least 0, and it is satisfied for the next check. I'm guessing that will still be actually okay. And so restarts have completed, and now the conditions are checked daily, and I don't want that. I want it to actually be checked more, like a bit later. So monthly would be okay. So we just milk the horse once a month. And that will do us. So that would be fine. So I've just clicked on that one through there to go and change that one. That's it. So that's actually okay. So the milking the animal is now going to be in the loop as well. Was that it? I think for the for this one in here, work orders, make cheese. There we go. And so we'll make cheese, and we'll just make I'll make, say, 2 of these. If there's if the amount of unrotten milk items is greater than 1, yeah, that'll do. Greater than 1. So if you've got it, make it. So we'll then just make the cheese that way. So we'll just do that. This is not satisfied. We don't actually have any milk. I think we're using the milk in the cooking at this point in time. So we are slowly sort of getting through the kitchens. Like the kitchen will sort of see that it's got rye beer biscuits. So they're making rye beer and things like that, which I'm happy for them to use. We've got drink is okay, food is okay. We've got barley wine biscuits, bayberry biscuits. Oops, barley wine biscuits down through here as well. So we're starting to now make the processed food, which is sort of what we do need to have. We've got different seeds down through this side, which we can't really make use of the barley seeds. I wonder if we could do something with those. If we went upstairs, I could actually create like a barley farm and actually start to do things with that. That may be something we could do. Maybe not today, but we'll do it another time. I'll have to try to remember to grow barley and show you how you can actually safely grow stocks and food and seeds in farms away from where people can't actually reach it, but where you can still do it. It's the trouble of, just to very quickly sort of summarize, when you've got barley, rye, these sorts of things, these have to be grown in sunlight. They can't be grown underground, whereas all the stuff that we're currently growing is underground. So we have to find a safe way to actually then grow these particular plants, and there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it. So we'll actually, it's a bit of a, well, there was a way to do it. I'm hoping it'll still be available to us in here in this particular version. But we'll see how we go. Anyway, we'll figure that one out in a future episode. Anyway, that's just going to keep the thread sort of rolling through. Now let's go up to the area that was not there. It must be further down. 1, 2 down. This is where we're going to do our cloth. Now that we've got where we're going to be producing the thread, and we can also then get the yak hair thread and all those different bits and pieces, we now need a loom to then make that into cloth. So the first step we do is to go to the into the workshops. We go to clothing, and then we go to the loom in through here. I'm just going to create the loom at that. I'll put them down here, I think. This is where I sort of was wanting to actually have everything. Actually, no, I won't do that. I'll just place it up. I'm just trying to think whether to go up or down. I'll go up. So we just go across to workshops, clothing, loom, and so we just place a loom in through here. Now we've got logs. I'm just going to use rock if I can do it, so I'll just use it out of granite. Once the cloth has been created, and we have bought some cloth from different merchants as well, we then go across into our workshops and into our clothing, and then we just literally go to the clothes shop. Now I'm going to create a couple of these, and I'll make them out of granite as well. And again, workshops, clothing. As I say, there's often quite a few things we're going to need out of clothing to sort of then go and make use of these. So we just go and get the granite, and then I'm also going to make the leather worker as well to make things like flasks and backpacks and so on and so forth. So we'll just go and grab those as well. Get get all of this clothing area, and also leather armor as well if we needed to. So we'll just go with that one there. Oh, hang on, I went right clicked. Workshop, clothing, leather, and make that out of granite as well. Okay, so I'll just pause and we'll come back. All right, so Alath has this is our bookkeeper, has actually gone and picked up the axe. We're not seeing the axe in her hand, but it is in her left hand. It's sort of saying so. So the axe is there. Interesting. So she's actually claiming it for herself because she's not going to pile it on anywhere else. So she's actually grabbed this. That could make life a bit interesting. So anyway, Alath is in control of that particular item. And now, what are you doing, Zabard? Leaving. Okay, so at least we've got the axe inside the fortress. I think I'll drop this now as well, this particular area. So just go down to F5, and this is now the tower door. Pull the lever, do it now. All right, so anyway, I'll go back and wait for those other things to be built. In the meantime, the sheriff's quarters have now been basically sort of etched out. So let's just go and put some doors in. I think we've got enough doors for this. I hope. Yes, we do. Okay, so we've got more doors available to us now. Just go and throw these in there. If I had good quality doors, I would grab them because we have to get these up to being not just meager quarters. These have to be modest quarters. They have to be better quality than what we would normally have. So let's just go and set all of this stuff up now for them. So I'll make the bedroom at the back. So we'll just go across, furniture, beds, and if I've got good quality beds, and I do actually, I've got some good quality tower cap beds. So this will actually then take the value up of that room from being meager to potentially being modest, even just with the bed. So that one will just send either one of these two in. I'll just bring the tower cap bed in. So the tower cap bed is in that room. Then we need to have a few different things. We need to have a dining room and an office. We'll make the office back in through here. So we'll just go across and place some furniture, a table, and again, if I've got a good quality table, I'll throw that one in there, which I don't think I do. No, it doesn't look like I do. Let's just grab one of these. It doesn't really matter. There's other ways we can do this. Oh, hang on. I wanted two tables. I wanted one for the office and one for the dining room. So the dining, well, whichever way around it's going to actually end up being. So we'll just go to table, throw another one back in through here. In fact, I'll just move that one back, microline, and come back this way and go and get the chairs. So furniture, chairs. So we'll throw the chair into there. Now, I think I right-clicked. Did I? Keep on doing that sort of stuff. Furniture, chair. No, it looks like we're okay. We need one there anyway. That'll do. So I think there's a chair, yeah, granite throne being placed in through there. Now, this should be good quality back in through this side, but we're then going to have to then raise the other stakes a little bit. So we need to have a chest place. So we'll just place a chest up into the top area. So she required, or he or she required a chest. I think it's a she actually. Now we do actually have these Nice coffers. I'm going to grab that one. That will then raise the bar even further. Then we'll go down to furniture and go to the cabinets. And I can place these pretty much anywhere, any old place. Let's go and place that in here as well. Yeah, we've got only one cabinet by the looks of things, or maybe there were multiple. Then we need to have a weapon rack, and I don't know if I built any of these. So again, we've got, actually, where is it, military? Yeah, weapon rack. I'll place them down there. Actually, we don't have any of them built. And we need an armor stand as well, and I'm assuming that we don't actually have any of those either. So the armor stand, no. So we'll need to go and build some of those. So we'll just go and build them at the rock workshop. So I'll just come back up again. And now I think I'm going to need to get another stone workshop. So we'll just go and build another one of those. Stone workshop. Back and through there. And I'll just build this one out of, well, limestone is right next to it. So we'll just go and grab that one. And back into, that's a craft dwarf. This one's the stone workers. So we'll just go and add a new task. And I will just, actually, what I'll do is I'll give it a work order to build. We're going to need a fair few of these ultimately. So I'll just build them as required. Let's just go across and make rock armor stands. And we'll also go to work orders and make some rock weapon racks. There we are, just 10 each of those, so they'll just be placed into the actual orders for that particular area. Right, we'll pause again and wait for this to all be developed. All right, this is interesting actually. I've just got it paused. In through here, we've now got the loom and the two clothier's shop set up. The leatherworks is not quite built yet, so that's actually being built, but these are actually all ready to go. Now, without actually giving any instructions, they've actually just automatically come through and actually added in the weave thread into cloth, weave yarn into cloth, so they're sort of doing a few of these different sorts of things as well, and collecting webs. Now webs are, what they'll do is they'll try to find, and I did see one just before, was it down or up? It might have been up. I thought I saw a web in here somewhere. Anyway, they'll just go and look for the cave spider webs, and then they can use that to then create silk as well from the actual webs themselves. Now we keep on getting the hand of Uthalagetsta's upstairs where we've got it sort of trapped. It just keeps on. It's still very, very ill, so it's not going to last very long when we do actually capture that one. Anyway, so they're just going to keep on sort of making this. This looks to be sort of in an ongoing loop, which is great. So that's automatically coming in with everything that we do require. Now back into here, the clothing. We now can sort of start to set up different sorts of ways of the clothing sort of to work. Now, one thing I used to like doing, and I'll probably still do it in through here, was to create different sorts of stockpiles. So I might just finish this episode off with the stockpiles. We'll come back next episode and probably work on the justice system and just start to get like the jails and things set up. But in this case, what we'll do in here is just going to go across to stockpiles. Now we've got stockpiles. We have different sorts of clothing. In fact, if we have a look at this, if we just go and build a stockpile, because one thing I love about this is we can change the shape. So let's make a stockpile here for hats. So I make like a person, a little person, so I can sort of get a sense as to what they've actually got. So if we just accept this one through here, and we can then make this one where it's a this is going to be a cloth or clothing. Actually, where does it do this one? I think it's just cloth. I think that's where it works. So just go to custom. I always forget exactly where it is. Threads, and no, this is just thread and cloth. Okay, no, that's not what we wanted to get. So I'll just cancel that. We'll change this into a armor. I think it may be. So we've got armor. I'll have to find it actually. I'll just pause. Oh, it's finished goods. Okay, so it's finished goods. Now, armor is separate again. Like if we go to armor, you can see the types of armor and what it's got, but that's not what we actually want. So it is finished goods that we require. So what we do is we just go basically make it none, and then just go and click on the things that we want. Now, in this instance, for the top of the head, I just want to have headwear. So I'll just grab headwear. Now, do I want it out of stone and clay? No, probably not. None of those. No metals, no gems as such, just other materials. Now this will be, I'll just go none, but I will make these out of, these will be out of yarn and silk and plant cloth. I'll keep the leather off there for now. We may sort of come back to that one, and that's it. Pretty much that'll do us. So that's going to be just our basic clothing sort of set up, and so we're just going to go from there. Core quality can be anything at all. I really don't mind so much. So that's the first one, and this is just purely the type was again just headwear. So I tend to split them up not that you really need to. I mean, you can sort of just double check it. Maybe let's not do it, and then we can always come back and figure it out later. But I think for armor, I like to know exactly what armor I've got and put them into separate bins. So we'll just do the handwear is for your gloves and mittens, legwear is for your trousers, and footwear is for your shoes, and footwear will be made out of cloth as well. Figurines, earrings, codices, chains, bracelets, backpacks. Backpacks are usually made out of leather, and I think I'll actually keep a separate pile for backpacks and flasks. What else have we got through here? Quivers will also go into the leather area. Rings, scepters, splints, tools, totems, toys. So I think that's it. So just footwear, handwear, headwear, and legwear. Now, I thought there was another one. I thought there was another one somewhere else. Unless it is armour. I might just put that on. I've got a funny feeling that may be for your upper body. I think that may be that. I might just double check that. Yeah, I can't remember, but I think armour is sort of like the shirts or dresses, anything else like that. So we'll leave that one up there. And I will just have it all going into this one to start with. And in that case, I will actually just make this a little bit larger. Just make it just come back down into here somewhere, and then we can sort of always split it up afterwards. We'll make another stockpile as well, so we'll just go back across and then I'll just make like one over the corner here for the quivers, backpacks and flasks made out of leather. So I probably should make some leather armor as well at some point, but we probably don't have enough leather at this stage to really sort of warrant doing that one. So I will, but the flasks and the backpacks in particular at this point in time will be quite important. So we'll just go again into finished goods, down through this side, go to custom. The types we're going to have, I'm just going to now only have backpacks, flasks and quivers. Okay, so just those three. Now we won't do it out of metal or anything, or gems. I will actually allow any of these. Actually, maybe I'll still again just be really fussy about what we do allow. Leather is predominantly what we want in through here, but I will actually allow the other sorts of cloth as well, just in case they happen to make them out of those, and any quality will be fine as well. So that will be those. Now I'm also going to create like an area that they just dump everything into to start with for sorting. So we're just going to go back across into finished goods. Sorry, I'm going to have these feed into a particular bin, and then we're going to take from those bins into here. I think that'd probably be the way to do it. There may be it may sort of stop certain things from happening, but we'll see how we go. Just go and add another one in. So I'll just make this one into into the catch-all. Accept. Again, finished goods. And in this case, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go and set which workshops and stockpiles this gives to and takes items. So it's going to take items from. So this is a choose a stockpile to which the selected stockpile will give items, and this is choose a stockpile from which the selected items will take items. Now I'm going to not have that as such. I'm just going to go finish goods and any of them. I'm just going to have essentially it go from here. So actually we'll let that one sort of develop. We'll just go back across. That one's still being built. So we just go across and we say, okay, give to, choose a stockpile to which the workshop will give items. We're going to give it to that one there. So finished goods stockpile, yep, done. So that one's done. Okay, so that's the clothier's shop. This one as well, the same sort of deal. Give it to this one here. All right, that one's done. And we'll set up other ones as well as we go. Now, not the loom. Then we go from here. This stockpile is going to take from there, and so that way they can then just sort what they want. And if we end up with other stuff left in there, it means that we may not have actually gone and designated everything. So we should actually be able to find where there's holes in our thought process. So they're going to we've got to read the little instructions. Choose a stockpile from which the selected will take items. So just want to make sure I do that one through there. Done. I did have that one selected, didn't I? Yep, done. So that one's done. Okay, so that's the clothier's shop. This one as well, the same sort of deal. Give it to this one here. All right, that one's done. And we'll set up other ones as well as we go. Now, not the loom. Then we go from here. This stockpile is going to take from there. And so that way they can then just sort what they want. And if we end up with other stuff left in there, it means that we may not have actually gone and designated everything. So we should actually be able to find where there's holes in our thought process. So they're going to we've got to read the little instructions. Choose a stockpile from which the selected will take items. So just want to make sure I do that one through there. Done. I did have that one selected, didn't I? Yep, that's fine. Okay, so that's now got. If we go and have a look at this one through here, we'll then sort of show that it's taking from the clothier's shop and giving to those other two. It will then sort of sort itself out. Let's just wait for this to be built. There we go. That's now built as well. So this is now the leather shop, and so it's going to then have. It is also then going to allocate. Choose a stockpile from which this will take. This will give to this one here. So again, just into that finished goods stockpile. Now what we'll do is we'll just go through and we can just set up the work orders again and just go through the different bits and pieces. So if we go to the leatherworks, we're going to add a new task. So you can see there's all sorts of different things here. Make leather armor, make leather backpack, bags, bucklers. Actually bags. I didn't actually think of bags. Bags are also can be quite important to us. So we may have to put them into the mix. I didn't even think of those. So we'll create another area for bags. Bucklers, caps, cloaks, coats, dresses, gloves, helms, high boots, leggings. There's so much stuff you can build. And it's very, very particular. But it is I think we can make flasks. Water skins as a flask. Okay, so we can do these. Let's just go back up the top and start with the backpacks. Okay, and sorry, that's a task. I don't want to do that. I want to go to work orders and do it this way. So we're going to go across and make the backpacks, and I'll just add them all in to start with the ones that we actually want to be building it initially. We've got the backpacks, the quivers, and the water skins. Now, and I won't make the caps or anything just yet, but we will ultimately then start to make leather armor at some point, but not initially. So we may even create like a second one just for making armor. It may even be in another part of the fortress. I'm not sure yet. So we'll just go there, and then we'll just go and so we'll make leather backpacks. If amount of empty backpacks available is less than 10, I'll make that say we don't need to do many of them. Let's just do say 5 at a time, and then we'll build 5. If that's the case. If less than 5, build another 5. So that will be fine. And unfortunately, I have to just keep on scrolling to the very, very back through here. Just make 5 of them. I'll do 5 with each of these. Yeah, I hope at some point these remember that you were back in the workshop that you were working in, because that way it won't come to the global area, and that way it's just easier to sort of find things, particularly as now that we're getting into clothing. I've been avoiding doing this because it's just there's so much to do. And so again, I'm just going to go into the quivers, do this one if empty quivers is less than 5, because we're only doing, oh hang on, just go and remove that one. If empty quivers is less than 5. Okay, and then water skins. If empty flasks is less than 5. There we are. So that's just going to be, so they'll start to make these. And this is what's, the backpacks and the flasks are used by the military to keep food with them so that they don't have to keep on going back to the kitchens to eat. It just allows them to stay where they are for a little bit longer. Now, I'm going over time here, but this is fairly important. Now, we did actually see bags as well. I will just go and create another bags stockpile. I like having a big area for clothing just so that I can end up sort of splitting things out to sort of figure out where things actually should be. So we just go accept. Now this will be finished goods, custom, and in this case the types we want is bags. It's not there. Where are they? Where are they? I actually think it's tools. So I'll just go none and then just make tools. So that will be type. I'll go none there, none there, none there. Other materials, again none, and then we'll just go and pick what we actually have. So we'll make it leather, plant cloth, silk, and yarn. That'll do. So and that will be fine. So that will then be where we need that one, and then that one will also then just go and take from. So we'll take items from there. So that one will then be done. All right. So yep. So did we do bags? I think we did bags when we were having a look at the clothing. No, we didn't do clothing. We only just did this one here. We don't need leather bags. Look at the work orders. Yeah, so they've got the different work orders in through there. The now the work orders from here as well. So the clothiers, now this gets quite complex, and I'm just going to, I'll just do, yeah, so cloth bag, yes, we want that. We wanted cloth caps. We want, so all of this, I don't think there's a catch-all like what we can do with the crafts. Actually, it's cloth. I'm going to change it so that it's just any type, whether it be yarn, cloth, or anything. I won't worry about images, but it's really one of everything. And so I will change this. So we'll go cloth cap. Have we got cloaks already? Yeah, cloaks. We just need, and this unfortunately is really quite a grind to sort of do this stuff. Dresses, gloves. Now you can sort of, the hood and the caps are the same sort of thing, but let's just go and get them anyway. And we can then, when we've got multiple of the same type, I will just sort of split it so that it ends up like half of whatever the base number might actually be. Loincloths I won't worry about. Mittens, robes and cloaks are the same sort of thing. Actually, I will get robes. Rope, actually we've got a bit of rope anyway, but it'll just go shirt for now. Shirt, shoes, socks, trousers, tunic we don't really need, vest we don't need, and then that's it for cloth. So that's all the cloth. Now if we just go back out again, you can sort of see we can change the requirements. So I can just go back across into here. So make a cloth bag. I should be able to specify that it's not actually just cloth. Yeah, these are cloth bags. I thought I could change it up in here. Maybe not. Amount of actually, I'll just go and ditch that one at the top there. So the empty bags is less than 10. Make 10 of them. That will be okay. So then we go back and we've got to go through all of those different things now. So I'm going to pause this and I'll come back once these have all been set up. Okay, so I'm sort of now got the last one to do. So essentially all I'm doing is just going back through, make cloth caps if the amount of caps is less than 10, which is satisfied for the next check. So that would then sort of operate. Now we're only making 5 at a time, so I'll just change that to 5. And then I'm also then just going if the amount of unused plant cloth is greater than the amount that we need, which is also going to be 5. Now unfortunately we don't actually have enough cloth, so that's not going to actually work. So anyway, they won't build onto there until they've got enough cloth. Other things we can then start to do would be to just create other sort of stockpiles, like for example this one here we're going to need to get thread, then cloth. So they'll need a cloth stockpile back in through this side. So let's just go and build one through there. Accept, cloth, custom, and we're not going to be putting the thread, so we're just going to go back to all the thread will then be gotten rid of from there. And I will actually just allow, I'll allow all of it except for metal. We might, yeah, we won't, the adamantine, we don't actually have that just yet. I'll just make it cloth, whether it be the silk, the spider web silk, or the plant or the yarn. So whichever cloth is going to be. Now, I think we may have yarn cloth, and so I could possibly change that, but so I could actually then just specify yarn if we need to. We'll have a bit of a look and see how that one's actually going. This one here as well, we'll just create another stockpile in through this side and make this one into another clothing one. So just go across into, where is it? Accept, cloth, custom. In this case we just go and turn off all of the actual clothing itself, and again I won't accept any adamantine at this stage, so just go none of that. So just the silk, plant and yarn thread will just be placed into that particular stockpile, just ready. And so that even when it's finished, it will then sort of, when it processes webs and makes it, it will then just get placed into there. Now that will then give me the what I need in through that side. And so it doesn't matter what type it actually does have. Let's just go back up the top and just our catch-all. Let's just go and stop this one from accepting any sort of cloth, except for maybe metal. So I'm just going to go none of those, but we will actually allow that because this one at least has then got what it requires. So we'll turn off the cloth from there. And that way they will then just go and sort out into the clothing area. Hope that all makes sense. Like, yes, to, you know, how we started back over here, you know, getting different things. And you can see that the yak hair thread has had nowhere to go, but we can now actually have it so that it does end up going down into this area through here now. So we'll start to sort of get a bit of a collection. Now, what we should find is that we'll end up with a cloth bin, and if we end up with a lot of yarn, again, I could split this up into the different types so that we know exactly what is plant and what is not. And same with the leather bins. We want to actually make sure that we have a leather bin over here as well. So I'll just go and create like a leather bin just in behind this one. Probably bigger actually, but let's just start there. Just go to leather. Now the custom, it doesn't matter what type of leather it actually is, so I'm actually happy for that. So that's going to be the leather bin. And again, we're just going to go back up to the top area where we've just got our catch-all. So wherever we actually have our catch-all area, we basically just get rid of the bits and pieces as required. And really what I should do is try to get an actual catch-all, which I've done for furniture. Like furniture is deeper down into the fortress. So we've sort of got like furnishings happening in through there a little bit, but we've also got a big furniture stockpile in through this side. So we're sort of segmenting things out. Anyway, I've gone well over time, guys, so I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, I think we'll just continue on with the justice area, so the jails and getting all those things sorted. I'm a bit worried about the about those humans that we're sort of we've only had the hand actually fighting, so I've been monitoring that one through there. Now, as far as the military have now been patrolling the fortress. We've just got a few of them now in the squads. If you have a look at the actual squads themselves, yeah, look at they're sort of running out of clothing. The clothing is desperate. So I might actually come back through. It's just not sort of showing them as actually marching around. I forget actually who was actually doing those sorts of orders. I don't think it'll tell us there. No, we can sort of see. Yeah, we don't want to be assigning any. We really are very, very light on it in terms of people doing things. So I'll just leave it alone for now. Anyway, I'll catch you next episode. Thanks for watching.